Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Raven. She's part of the collective build Beast Boy wave. I ordered this figure from the McFarlane toy store, and it took them absolutely forever to ship out my figures. When I emailed them asking what the holdup was, they said because I added an extra Nightwing figure to the bundle, it got picked by a whole different team. Lesson learned. Next time, I'm just going to order the bundle by itself. No extra figures. That one will ship way sooner. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Raven, collective build Beast Boy. She's the third of 4 figures you need to complete him. Here she is in the package. She has 2 energy effects, a collector's card, display stand, and then Beast Boy's hands and head. One side of the package, Raven from Titans. Other side, Raven. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, in case it helps anybody. And on the back side, here's Beast Boy. Here are the parts you get with Raven. Here's a checklist of all the parts, and here is the rest of the wave. So no further ado, let's open her up. Of course, I did get the entire wave to complete Beast Boy. And now it took forever for them to ship this thing out. Next time, I'm just going to order the bundle, no extra figure, that way it'll ship quite a bit sooner. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here she is with all of her accessories laid out. She has a display stand, a collector's card, and then 2 energy effects to attach or to replace her hands. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Raven, as a member of the Titans from the Rebirth comics. Her real name is Rachel Roth. Her father is Trigon, one of the DC villains. Now, this is not your traditional, iconic-looking Raven. This is her from the Rebirth comics, and it looks a little bit different, but still recognizable. The figure itself, I think, looks very nice, but it's not exactly the version of Raven that I wanted. So let's take a look. Start with her face here. The skin is fairly white. The eyes look to be pure yellow. She's got the hood on. Kind of red hair. Now, she doesn't have that jewel on her forehead, and that is accurate. She doesn't seem to have that in the modern day and age. Going further down, black outfit, thin arms, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Cape looks good, texturing going on. Overall, it's a good looking figure, and it's a good looking Raven, but it's not exactly the Raven that I specifically wanted them to release. Still, happy to have her and add her to the collection. And just a closer look at her face and head sculpt. It looks pretty good. The hood's nice, face is nice, a little bit of hair, paint job. I was also curious, what's going on under the hood here? Is it a fully sculpted head? Is it just the face? But you can actually sort of pull the hood back and you can see there's a full face and head of hair under there. So, if you really wanted to mess around, you could probably remove the hood. Good to know. And here's the figure broken down as far as you can go, with all of her removable parts detached. Now let's check out her accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's her display stand, typical McFarlane stand, black circle, it says DC, and it's got 1 peg for the pegals on her feet. It's very thin and basic. Now let's look at her collector's card. See, we have a drawn image of Raven. Now this is the version of Raven I would love to get a figure from. Yeah, it's different than this figure. Raven from Titans. I do find it very odd that you use the card art for something completely different than the actual figure. On the back there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. She also comes with Beast Boy's head and hands. Head looks good, furry, bangy. He's angry, pointed ears. When Beast Boy is fully assembled, he's going to look like this. That's a big boy there. Now let's look at her hands and the energy effects. She has a right fisted hand, a left open hand, and these 2 energy effects. They pretty much look like pink flame. They're cast in a semi-transparent plastic. Looks like they're designed to fully replace her hands. Here's Raven with her regular hands attached. And here's Raven with her hands replaced with the energy effects. Looks pretty cool. You can actually take one of the effects and put it into her open hand, as if she's just holding a flame, looking at it, maybe threatening or being intimidating to somebody. Works pretty good for this purpose as well. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and her accessories, now let's check out her height. From bottom to the top of her hood, standing at about 6.8 inches tall, which can translate to about 17 centimeters. Now for articulation. Start with her head here. Now she has the hood on. They did a pretty good job of making it look good and be articulated. She can rotate side to side. She can look up and down a little bit, not too much. She can tilt her head from side to side, but with the hood there, none of those poses are actually going to stick. Shoulder on a ball joint goes up about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. She does have that butterfly joint between her shoulder and chest area. You can barely see it, increasing the range of motion and covering the large gap there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. Her wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint her torso, rotate around, forward and back. Another one in her waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, giving you a very wide range of motion in her torso area. I get a little more out of the waist than the torso on her. Legs, complete does the splits. Not a ball joint, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is non-existent. Legs go forward about that far. Back, not much. Double jointed knees below that. Then our ankle, forward and back. Rotate, tilt, rock, and of course, toe articulation. Here are the Titans coming out of the Titans Tower. We have the team assembled here. Seeing the team together like this really goes to show that we need Starfire and a comic cyborg. There is a comic cyborg coming in the Flashpoint Wave, but he's going to be considerably taller than these guys. Here they are, geared up and ready for action. Titans go. Here's a closer look at Raven, using her energy blasts. Get ready for action. And a closer look at Raven holding her fire or flame. Now check her out, next to some other action figures. And since I don't have any other Raven figures, and I really wish I had the Mattel DC Universe Classics version, let's go and jump into comparing her with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here she is, next to the rest of the wave of the Titans figures. Nightwing, Raven, Donna Troy, and Arsenal. If you get the entire wave, you get to collect and build Beast Boy in his giant form here. I personally consider this gold label Walmart exclusive Beast Boy as part of the wave too. There's a reason he dropped around the same time, and I actually prefer the regular Beast Boy to the big one. Yes, the big one is a better action figure, but I want to have my Beast Boy Gar interact with the rest of the team in his normal form most of the time. You could also add the Walmart exclusive Wally West as Flash to the Titans wave. He's often a member of the team. We really need to get a Starfire and a Cyborg to really round out the roster. And here she is, next to modern Kid Flash, Robin, and Aqualad, all members of the Teen Titans sometimes, where Raven started. Then, next to Superboy, Tim Drake Robin, and Impulse, all the core members of the Young Justice group, except that Superboy and Robin are the wrong versions. And here she is, next to Duke Thomas's Signal, another younger sidekick. He's part of the Bat family, and a member of Batman and the Outsiders. Here's Raven, next to all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse cyborg figures they've made, none of which are really appropriate to stand with this team of Titans. And speaking of Titans and Teen Titans, we have that animated Teen Titans cyborg, who is all by himself. They really got to work on that team. That's been a couple of years since he came out. And McFarlane hasn't made a Starfire figure, and they really need to. Here's Raven next to my couple Starfire figures, DC Direct and Mattel. Now let's check her out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here she is with the entire Flash wave, 7 figures. Here's Raven, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, Dick Grayson Robin, and Kyle Rayner Blue Lantern. And here she is, next to some recent Target exclusive gold label figures. We have the Flashpoint Aquaman and Project Superman, the Jokerized Dark Detective Batman, Impulse, and Deadman. Then, with some Walmart exclusive gold label figures, Vampire Joker, Vampire Batman, Eradicator, and Beast Boy. Here's Raven, next to Wonder Woman and Shazam, from Shazam Fury of the Gods. And here she is, next to the Arkham City Riddler and the Arkham Knight Earth 2 Batman skin. Then, next to the 2 most recent McFarlane Mega figures, Calabac and Fulcrum Abominus. And now, next to the 4th wave of Page Punchers, this is an Aquaman-themed wave. We have Aquaman, Aqualad, Black Manta, and Ocean Master. Here's Raven, next to the Dark Knight Trilogy wave, collect to build Bane from the Dark Knight Rises. And here she is, next to the Kingdom Come Armored Batman and the Dark Knight's Metal Gladiator Batman. Then, next to the Con-El Superboy, Duke Thomas's Signal, and both versions of the Jay Garrick Flash. And now, next most recent Batman wave, we have the Hush Batman, both versions of the Nightfall Catwoman, both versions of the Rebirth Mr. Freeze, and the Infinite Frontier Joker. And finally, next to the Amazon exclusive Tim Drake Robin, and the Amazon exclusive Batman Family 5-pack, Now let's check her out. Next is some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how she fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix her with. Since she's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check her out with some of her McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, with some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures. Here's Raven, next to a Whisk. And here she is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here she is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here she is, next to some Mezco 112 collected figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here she is, with some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here she is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a pretty nice Raven figure, although if I could pick the version of Raven they could make, it would be a more traditional or iconic version, kind of like on the packaging. That being said, it's still a nice figure. Sculpt paint job are excellent. I really like her face. Her articulation's also pretty good. A little bit limited in the neck, but with the hood, they did an awesome job. Her accessories are cool. I wish she had 2 open hands and 2 fisted hands for more display options. If I were to rate this figure, I'm going to give her a 7 out of 10. I'm actually enjoying her more than I expected. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.